Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to discuss about one more popular design technique by name dynamic programming. As well as we'll see how exactly we'll apply the concept of dynamic programming in order to find the solution to find the binomial coefficient. Now, before going to the concept of binomial coefficient, let's try to understand what do you mean by dynamic programming and how exactly we will get the solution to a given problem with the help of dynamic programming. So, as mentioned, I have stated that dynamic programming is the most popularly used design technique. Not just dynamic programming, even divide and conquer is also most popularly used design technique to solve a particular problem. This dynamic programming works on the principle of divide and conquer in some way, in the sense this dynamic programming I can say dynamic programming is similar to divide and conquer. In the sense, even in case of dynamic programming also, the problem is solved into sub-problems. The problem is divided into sub-problems as what we have done in case of divide and conquer. Okay. Problem will be divided into sub-problems. But the difference between divide and conquer and dynamic programming is, in case of divide and conquer, if there are overlapping sub-problems, if the same problem is being repeated, then the sub-problem will be solved in both the instance. Or if the sub-problem is repeated thrice, the sub-problem will be solved thrice. But whereas in case of dynamic programming, the overlapping sub-problem is solved only once. I can say that is, in dynamic programming, the overlapping sub-problems is solved only once. But whereas in case of divide and conquer, note that the overlapping sub-problems will be repeated n number of times. Now, how this overlapping sub-problem is solved only once, how exactly we get this? Here, in case of dynamic programming, the solution to the solutions of these sub-problems are stored in a table. With respect to the programming language or with respect to the algorithmic concept or the data structure concept, we say that the solution to the sub-problems, all sub-problem solution will be stored in an array. And the next time the same sub-problem arises, we'll check the array, or we are going to check the table whether the solution is already there or not. If the solution is already there, then we will get the solution from the table that we will be using for the further reference. If the solution is not there for the sub-problem, we'll be calculating the solution to sub-problem. Note that this is the major difference between divide and conquer and dynamic programming. And one more important thing in case of dynamic programming is to solve any problem, using dynamic programming, three things are very important. One is the optimal substructure. Second one is the recurrence. And third one is the approach. Approach in the sense we generally use two approaches. One is the top-down approach, and second one is the bottom-up approach. In the sense, as I told earlier, that in case of dynamic programming, we store the solutions of the subproblem in a table. Now, how the table is being filled, whether we fill the table from top to bottom or the table is being filled from bottom to up, it depends. It depends upon how we are finding the solution. But the filling of the table is generally used, we use a top-down approach. But to find the solution, we go for the bottom-up approach in some of the problem. This is about the introduction to dynamic programming. Now let's take an example and see how exactly we can use the dynamic programming to solve that particular problem. The problem that we are going to consider is the solution to the binomial coefficient. The objective of binomial coefficient is, I have stated that the objective of binomial coefficient is to find the number of combinations of k elements in a set of n elements. Note that the binomial coefficient can be denoted as, it is denoted as C of nk, or I can say it as nck. This is how we can denote the binomial coefficient. We know that how to calculate the value of nck. That is, nck value is nothing but n factorial by k factorial into n minus k factorial. Now, as I told earlier, in case of solving a problem using dynamic programming, the first thing important is the optimal substructure. With the help of optimal substructure, we come up with the recurrence relation. I can say the recurrence or the recursive definition to find C of n comma k is equal to, I can state that C of n comma k is equal to 1 if k is equal to 0, or if k is equal to n, or I can say if it will be 0 for all k greater than n. If not, it is C of n minus 1 comma k plus C of n minus 1 comma k minus 1. When for if k is less than 0 and k is not equal to 0. Anyway, for k is equal to 0, it should be 1. If k is less than n and k not equal to 0, this is the value. So this is the recursive definition to find the binomial coefficient. As I told earlier, that in case of dynamic programming, what we do, we build a table, and with the help of the table, we get the solution to the problem. Now let's see the value of 4c3. What is the value of 4c3? It is 4 factorial by 3 factorial multiplied by 4 minus 3 is 1 factorial. That is 3 factorial. Answer is 4. 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, and this 3 factorial and the other 3 here in the numerator goes. I will be left out with 4 factorial. Now how to build a table? Now what we do? We construct a table here. A table is constructed with n plus 1 rows and k plus 1 columns. What you do? Create a table with n plus 1 rows. What is the value of n? Here n value is 4 and k value is 3. I need to have 5 rows numbered from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 rows. And how many columns? 4 columns, numbered from 0 up to 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Let me write. 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is my k and this is my n. N's are rows, that is n plus 1 rows and k plus 1 column. What I know is if k is equal to 0 or k is equal to n, its value is 1. So here k is equal to 0, it is 1, and all diagonal elements, these are the diagonal elements. I know this value is 1. So Now don't worry about this particular region. If I say maybe if k is greater than n, here after the principal diagonal elements or maybe 1 and even this part of element will be 0. Now our area of interest will be only this part of this. Now how to find the other values? I need to find this value. This value is calculated as C of n minus 1 comma k, n minus 1 comma k. There is a previous row, same column, and previous row, the previous column, the summation of these two. So this value is 1 plus 1, 2. This value is 1 plus 2, 3. This value is 2 plus 1, 3. This value is 1 plus 3, 4. This value is 3 and 3, 6. And this value 3 plus 1, 4. So what is the value of C of 4 comma 3? C of 4 comma 3 is 4. That was our answer. I got this as my answer. This is how we build the table and we apply this in order to get the solution. Let's take one more example. Let's go for 6C5. 6C5 or 6C4. Let me take 6C4. Oh yeah, always n and k with a difference of 1. 6C4. Now what is this value? This is 6 factorial by 4 factorial into 6 minus 4 is 2 factorial. So this is 6 into 5 because this 4 factorial and the 4 factorial are gone. 2, 2, 1, 3. So this is 15. Let's see how it is 15. So what we need to do? We need to have 7 columns. We need to have 7 columns. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm applying this formula. I got 15. Let's see. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is my n. And on column side, k value is 4. I need to have 5 columns. Numbers from 0 to k. K is 4. So, what about first column? First column value is 1. First column is 1. Now what we are supposed to do next is principal diagonal, the diagonal elements. So this is 1, this is 1, this is 1, this is 1. No need to worry about this because it states that if k is greater than n, I'll not go for that. This. Now this value is the summation of these two. It is 2. This value summation of these two. 3. This value summation of these two. This value summation of these two. This value summation of 3 plus 3. 3 plus 1, 4. 1 plus 4, 5. 6 plus 4 plus 6, 10. 6 plus 4, 10. 4 plus 1, 5. 1 plus 5, 6. 5 plus 10, 15. 10 plus 10, 20. 10 plus 5, 15. Now what value we want? We wanted 6C4. 6C4 is 50. If you see, I got this value. This is how we use the concept of dynamic programming to find the solution. Note that all the solution to the subproblem is stored in the array, is stored in the table, and whenever it is being required, we get that value from the table. Hope this is clear. But note that in case of divide and conquer, we never used to do the same. The smaller instance of the subproblem was solved, whether it was overlapping in the sense whether it was already solved earlier or not. Now what we'll do, we'll come up with the algorithm of the binomial coefficient, and we'll check what is the time complexity of the algorithm. This is the algorithm of the binomial coefficient. If you see, the algorithm is being named as binomial coefficient, and the input to the algorithms are two non-negative integers n and k. Now what is the objective of this algorithm? It computes C of nk using a dynamic programming. And what is the output? Output is the value of C of n comma k. In this particular case, it was 4C3. That is nothing but I need to find the value of n of 4 comma 3. What is the output? Output, if you see, the value is 4. It is the value of C of n comma k. Now, what we have done, we have taken n plus 1 rows and k plus 1 columns. So, the outer for loop is for I is equal to 0 to n, 0 to n, 0 to n, and for j is equal to 0 to min of ik. In the first iteration, when I is 0, j should be only 0. When I is equal to 1, j should be 1. When n is equal to 2, here also k should be 2. K should be 2. All these other things are not necessary. Hence, this for loop, the second for loop is being iterated from 0 to min of ik. Now, how to calculate the value? We know that first columns are 0. And the diagonal elements are, the first columns are 1s and the diagonal values are also 1. So, if j is equal to 0 or j is equal to I, C of I, j is equal to 1. If not, how we have calculated this value? This value was calculated with summation of the previous two values, 1 plus 1. Hence, it is C of ij is equal to Ci minus 1 comma j plus Ci minus 1 comma j minus 1. Now, calculate the entire thing and return this value. This value is nothing but return C of nk. So, this is about the algorithm of calculating the binomial coefficient. Now, coming to the time complexity of this, now what is the basic operation here? Basic operation is addition. I can say basic operation is addition. Now, how many addition is done? Let me write it as a T of n. T of n denotes the total number of addition done. Now, this depends upon how many times this for loop executes and this for loop execute. Let me assume that this single addition takes unit of time. So, it is the outer for loop. For I is equal to 0 to n summation of what is this j loop? J is from 0 to min of ik. So, k of 1. Now this will be k times summation of I is equal to 0 to n. This is j is equal to 0 up to min of I comma k. So this will be k times. Now what about this? This k times it has to be iterated n number of times. And this is order of nk. This is about the time complexity of the binomial coefficient. Now, if you want to come up with a recurrence definition or recurrence relation, I can write the recurrence relation as a of n comma k. Now, how many addition operation we do for all these values? That is for the 0th column and the principal diagonal elements, we don't do any addition. So that will be the base case. So A of n comma k is 0. We don't do any addition when k is equal to 0. When k is equal to 0, I don't do any addition at all. And when k is equal to n, here, I don't do any addition at all. So the total number of addition done is 0. Otherwise, how many additions I do? The number of additions that I do is A of n minus 1 comma k plus A of n minus 1 comma k minus 1 plus 1. Otherwise, this is the total number of addition that I am doing for A of n minus 1 comma k plus A of n minus 1 comma k minus 1, and finally one addition to add these two. That means the total number of addition that I do here is the number of addition that I have done for this as well as this. Don't worry, this is not the value. Don't get confused here. So, the total number of addition to find this particular value is the total number of addition that I have done to calculate this, as well as the total number of addition used to calculate this plus 1. Why 1? In order to add these two, I do one extra addition. So, this is the recurrence relation with the base case and without the base case. This was about the time complexity of the binomial coefficient. Anyway, to find the time complexity of binomial coefficient, I have used the summation rule. Hope it is clear. Thank you.